welcome. This is episode 10 of the Excited Bull Book Talk. I'm Kim, and I'm coming to you from Norman, Oklahoma, where I live with my fiance Jason, our 3 dogs, and a bunch of family. Thank you for joining me this week, and if you like this episode, please hit the like or subscribe button down below. So this week, we're just going to briefly talk about The Goldfinch by Donna Tartt. Briefly, because this is the front, or the beginning, this is the end. I am a little over halfway through it. I know I'm slow. I just don't make enough time for my paper book reading anymore. Unfortunately, because this is stunning of a read. I am going to share a couple snippets from the book with you guys. YouTube, if this is illegal, let me know. It's just snippets. They're not even paragraphs. But they're so freaking beautiful. First off, we're going to show the painting that the book is named after. It's a lovely painting that I think is totally worthy of a book title. So, let's get into our snippets here. Obviously, spoilers. I'm not telling plot points really. I'm really just reading very small passages that are beautifully written. So there's not really spoilers, but there's spoilers. So if you're like me and you don't want any spoilers, come back after you've read at least half the book. Okay, the first bit is describing one of the characters. His name is Hobby. His hair was tied back from his face. His glasses were around his neck on a chain. Under his black work smock, which he'd removed and hung on a peg, he was wearing old corduroys stained with mineral spirit and beeswax, and a thin washed cotton shirt with the sleeves rolled above the elbow. Capable-looking and morose, his knobbly white hands flat on the table, there was something in the set of his shoulder that suggested a good-natured draft horse, or maybe a workman in the pub at the end of a long day. This is a beautiful description of, so far, a very beautiful character. And then this is describing Hobby's house, where he lives. And then, I was soothed by the house, its sense of safety and enclosure, old portraits and poorly lit hallways, loudly ticking clocks. As I moved about through the stagnant silences, the pools of shadow and deep sun, the old floors creaked underfoot like the deck of a ship. The wash of traffic out on 6th Avenue breaking just audibly against the ear. I was comforted to hear the tap of his mallet floating up from below, and to know that he was down there, pottering away quietly with his tools and his spirit gums and varicolored woods. While I could not stand the clutter that is described in Hobby's house, it's a beautiful description of that house, and it makes it sound so cozy. On the other hand, the Barbers are another family that Theo lives with. And this is comparing the houses, kind of. The overly formal atmosphere of the Barbers, where everything was rehearsed and scheduled like a Broadway production. An airless perfection. By contrast, Hobby lived and wafted like some great sea mammal in his own mild atmosphere. The dark brown of tea stains and tobacco, where every clock in the house had said something different, and didn't actually correspond to the standard measure, but instead meandered along at its own sedate tick-tock, obeying the pace of his antique crowded backwater, far from the factory-built epoxy-glued version of the world. See what I mean, though? We'll leave it there. Donna Tartt's style of writing, in some ways, reminds me of Ray Bradbury, in that she's talking about very simple concepts. Almost boring concepts at times. But they're interesting because they are just so well written. Like, it is no wonder to me that it's years in between books for her, because the amount of thought that must go into every word choice and every sentence structure is mind-boggling and beautiful. And I really hope the second half of this book is as lovely as the first. And if any of this sparks something in you, please go pick up a copy. I don't know how the audiobook is because I'm not obviously listening to this one on audiobook, but pick up the audiobook. If it's anything like The Secret History, which I also listen to on audiobook, it will be glorious. Give it a shot. And that's all I have for you this week. I have not been listening to any audiobooks. I have been still going on podcast binges and catching up. I've listened to Nick British and what are some of the other ones? Some more drunk booksellers because they're freaking hysterical. Nothing else is sticking out. I have been watching my YouTube podcasters as well, because you have the Stitchness Sisters, Vil and Vine Yarns Yarngasm podcast. I have some Grocery Girls queued up, so we'll be getting into those, and then I'll probably do another audiobook. I kind of have in the wings waiting M is for Magic by Neil Gaiman, which is a short story collection. So, yeah, maybe that'll be next. So, until next week, have a wonderful week, and make some time to get a little story in your life. Bye.